Quit playing, David. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen, Bob.
It's all right. I can make it work.
I can't.
The FBI received an anonymous call, something about, a smiley face you might have received.
Something like this.
David, it's smallpox.
Smallpox was eradicated in 1980.
But here's the thing. It's synthetic. That G should be an A.
What about the anthrax and the glanders? Do they think they're related?
It's hard to imagine they're not.
Vaccine. Are we making it?
Yes.
Rachel's son. Great.
Just visiting?
Actually in transit. Algonquin Park. Starting some aggressive bear behavior up there.
Craig.
I don't want to talk.
You two should really try and work this out, you know?
You want to have dinner, just you and me?
What do you want, Carl?
I want you to sign those papers. So someone can just build smallpox.
Any university lab would do it.
So how do we go about finding this guy?
We don't have to. He's found us. Time to go public.
Any luck with the trace yet?
Nothing. I have a feeling we're getting really close.
Locking onto the geoposition of that cell.
It's about time.
He's in the U.S., East Coast, Manhattan. 42nd and Lexington.
Grand Central Station.
Yeah, I'll alert Homeland and the FBI.
What are you reading? Stay stronger. We got it.
They disarmed it.
Oh, thank God for that.
There are samples en route.
This doesn't make any sense.
What's that?
The guy's smart enough to create smallpox from scratch. He's clever enough to plant a smallpox bomb in Grand Central Station without getting caught. But then he sends a message to me that practically tells us where to find it.
You wanted us to find it.
Just like he wanted us to find the mistake in the code.
Why would he do that?
Don't know. Whatever this guy's up to, he's not finished yet, though. Rachel, that smallpox from New York?
Yeah, I'm gonna run a 454 genomic analysis and DNA chips too.
Error rate.
Yeah, I know it's higher, but I figured speed was the thing here, so...
Any updates on the infectivity of the sample sent to me?
No, the viral cells we infected are still healthy. We're gonna know later tonight just how deadly it is.
Keep me posted.
Great, thanks. What are you doing here?
Well, I was leaving you a note. I don't like to be investigated. If you want to see the state of my financial affairs, my lawyer will provide whatever he feels is necessary to reach a settlement. Yeah, yes.
So, what if I want the truth?
Have your lawyer call me.
That's right.
Okay. You have an outbreak of glanders and anthrax on the west coast, and then along comes our guy with his homemade smallpox on the east coast. Are they connected? I'm not so sure anymore.
Why?
Out west, you've got this crudely weaponized anthrax, and back east, state-of-the-art science.
David's right. To synthesize smallpox, you'd have to be brilliant.
Now let's look at intent. The anthrax and the glanders were released in the middle of nowhere.
Using a forest fire to spread the crud around.
This is random bioterrorism, right? Our smallpox guy, big game hunter, very specific, Midtown Manhattan.
So you're trying to tell me that these are simultaneous and unrelated threats?
From now on, we're looking at them as two separate incidents. Okay, Mako, you were with Rachel on the smallpox. We need to find out who this guy is. Bob, you're with me on the fire.
2 new cases of anthrax, 1 of glanders, but we have a more serious problem.
Why, what's going on?
Well, the winds have really begun to pick up here. It's turning into a rank 6 crown fire.
Meaning?
Meaning that the fire is literally rolling across the top of the forest. Now they're back burning, dumping fire retardants, but it looks highly probable that we're going to be evacuated.
These winds, are they part of that storm you guys were tracking?
Yes. I'm sending you the latest projections from Environment Canada. See, the storm center is just north of the Queen Charlotte Islands.
Is it coming ashore?
It's just a matter of time. And when it does, it's going to push the smoke south down the coast. Now, you see the actual pattern there.
Cyclonic. Winds out of the north and heading back to the west. If the whole system's tracking south...
Storm cloud of pathogens is going to hit Vancouver.
Population of 2 million, David.
Evacuation plans?
Yes, they're underway.
I've been working on procedures to kill the glanders bacteria with airborne sulfadiazine, but I think I better recalculate based on this weather projection. Carlos, can you send me the link?
Yeah, absolutely.
David,
Yeah.
I've got some stuff to show you.
Okay, you guys work up projections based on these weather models. Best case, worst case scenarios.
Okay, so I am swapping data with the FBI, CSIS, and Interpol. We are trying to find our smallpox guy through the suppliers.
That could take months, Mako.
Yeah, exactly. So while they're taking a long route, I'm trying to jumpstart this thing. Came up with a couple filters I want to run by you.
And what do you think?
Well, we're looking at 438 suppliers worldwide for customized DNA. We know he orders small pieces. I'm thinking maybe 75 bases. That's about 2,500 orders to build the entire smallpox virus.
Okay.
The first assumption is this smallpox guy, he'd want to get lost in the shuffle, right? So he'd spread his orders around to avoid detection.
Agreed.
Second assumption, he'd want to lose himself in the sheer volume of orders, so he's going to go with big suppliers. I'm cutting this down to the 100 biggest supply houses.
All right, so our guy's probably doing business with these companies.
Right. And then the next filter, he'd need a level 3 containment facility to safely replicate the smallpox. There.
Good work, Mako.
Thanks.
As soon as you get this list run by Rachel, she knows this world better than any of us. Oh, and one more filter. I want you to focus on American researchers.
Why?
Because apart from the World Trade Center bombing, almost every major act of domestic terrorism on U.S. soil was perpetrated by American citizens. What?
Dr. Sandstrom's Robbie McCain.
Who?
Robbie McCain. We met in Utah.
You with the ATF?
At Greenway. My wife, Leslie, was one of the scientists killed in the explosion.
Oh, right, of course, Robbie. How you doing?
I'm in Toronto. I'd like to see you.
David, I just heard from...
That'd be great, Robbie, but we're all sort of on a full boil around here right now.
It's about the explosion at Greenway. I think I have something you'll find very interesting.
What do you mean?
I don't want to tell you over the phone.
I tell you what, why don't you come by the lab tomorrow?
Thank you.
Something about Greenway.
Really?
Yeah. What's up?
I did a little bit of historical research into our glanders problem, specifically the glanders outbreak that happened 60 years ago.
Nice of you to show some initiative.
I think I might have found something.
Hang on.
So we should have the story in the New York smallpox in a few hours. In the meantime, the test results in the anthrax strain.
And?
Asian.
Asian.
Yeah, it's a 1939 strain identified in Manchuria by Dr. Ogawa.
Dr. Ogawa, Unit 731?
Yeah, that's him.
Unit 731.
Yeah, it was part of the Japanese Army's Biological Weapon Division. I did my doctoral thesis on wartime Japanese intelligence in the Pacific Theater.
Okay, so how does somebody get their hands on WW2-era anthrax? Chinese Army, maybe?
It could be from 1939.
Old Japanese military stockpile.
That might square with what I found.
Okay, look, Mako's working up a list of potential smallpox suspects, and why don't you have a look at that while you're waiting for the results?
Got it. Oh, hey, perfect. Okay, so these are American researchers who order the DNA sequences that you need to synthesize the smallpox. They also have the experience and lab facilities that you need to pull this off. How many candidates? 974. Okay, I'll take a look, see if anything pops out at me. I'm going to forward it to a few colleagues, see if they have any thoughts. Okay.
Nice. Look, Mako's working up a list of potential smallpox suspects, and why don't you have a look at that while you're waiting for the results?
Got it.
Heard about this laser therapy for use on glaucoma patients? I thought it might work with Bob.
The procedure's pretty routine these days. Basically, you take a laser, you drill these tiny holes in the retina to release the interocular pressure.
Would it work?
Glaucoma, maybe, but it's not going to correct the damage to the optic nerve.
So how do you do that?
That's the billion-dollar question. What do you got for me?
The last glanders outbreak in North America happened in 1945.
Tell me something I don't know, Wes.
You know, this is weird. Come take a look at this. This is where the current outbreak is occurring.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the 1945 outbreak occurred. It's 20 kilometers south of the current outbreak.
No, that's too close to be a coincidence. So what? Somehow World War II era Japanese glanders and anthrax ended up in BC?
I guess.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but there is one interesting fact. There was also a fire connected to the 1945 outbreak.
It's just glanders, though, right? No anthrax?
Just glanders.
All right, keep digging. But hurry, that storm's closing in. Bob, where you at with the sulfidizing?
I finished my algorithm, assuming for covariant lake contamination is a 10 parts per million on the ground.
Nice kill curves.
There are several problems. If the fire advances on a 10-kilometer front, we would need over 200 water tankers working around the clock to kill the glanders.
Can we get that many tankers?
Unlikely, and even if we could, flying in that weather would be challenging.
To say the least.
The bigger problem is that the antibiotics only kill bacteria when they're growing. They wouldn't be growing when they're airborne. I should have caught that before I started.
No, I missed it too, Bob.
Are you humoring me?
Absolutely not. Cast a wide net, that's what you're here for. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time you've got to make it work. Looks like our smallpox guy finally has something to say for us. Wes! Get Riddlemeyer back in here ASAP!
Hey, David, here's the analysis of the New York smallpox. It's the same as the strain that was sent to you.
Same mistake in the code?
Yeah, exactly. And we got the retest results on the virulence.
Healthy Vero cells. The guy designed a benign virus. He must have known he was doing it.
But why would he do it?
The show could be done. He's here. Right there.
Oh, wait, before you take off, here's my list of who might have engineered it. Rachel's looked it over. I'm going to send it on to FBI. And CSIS and Interpol already have it.
Good work, guys. This is www.censorthenet.org.
Censor the net. Bit late in the day, don't you think?
Well, our smallpox guy wants the international scientific community to appoint a panel of Nobel Prize winners to remove all dangerous scientific information from the internet, or he will release smallpox in cities all across the U.S.
Demand the impossible, threaten the unthinkable. Sounds like an ideological fanatic.
Well, he has a point.
You're agreeing with him?
He managed to synthesize one of the deadliest killers this planet's ever seen from stuff he got off the internet.
What does this maniac want?
Wants us to know how fucked we are. He's sending his manifesto to the New York Times and the Washington Post.
Oh, they won't publish anything until they talk to us first.
You know, maybe we should just publish it.
I beg your pardon?
Well, not publishing it is just going to make this guy very, very upset, and then who knows what he'll do.
The United States government is not going to give in to terrorist demands.
This guy's not a terrorist. Like, this has been a big show, all right? It's a stunt to lead us to censorthenet.org.
And what are you basing this on?
The guy builds a strain of smallpox with a deliberate error in it that leads us directly to the internet. Then he plants a bomb, and he leads us directly to that. He wanted it found.
He's playing God. Show us what he's capable of.
Could have released it without telling anyone.
So you're actually supporting his position?
I'm not taking any position. What I'm saying is that at heart, I think whoever is behind this is a person of conscience, not a mass murderer.
What do you think he'll do next to prove his point, huh? Let loose the real thing?
I don't know.
I know you think this guy's harmless, but that's not your decision to make, nor mine. I'm kicking this thing upstairs to the Joint Task Force on Terrorism.
I can't drive down now. Look, if you can't locate him by tomorrow, give me a call and see what I can do. Is she okay? Thanks.
Problems?
My idiot brother is vanished again, and my niece is stranded.
Oh, I thought he found Jesus.
Clearly.
What do you got?
Okay. So I dug a little bit further into Unit 731. During the war, Japan invades China. They set up Unit 731 in Manchuria. I get this. Officially, it is known as the Kempeitai Political Department and Epidemic Prevention Research Laboratory. It was really top secret. Supposedly it was a water purification plant. But it turns out they were experimenting on a hell of a lot more than just glanders and anthrax. They were doing research on bubonic plague, typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, Songo fever.
Who's who, germ warfare.
Then they started to do experiments and tests on POWs and the civilian Chinese population. They would tie a person to a stake and test a germ bomb on them. They were infecting women and children with diseases, then performing live vivisections to see how those diseases were progressing.
Jesus.
There are estimates that upwards of 200,000 people were killed. Here's the kicker. The U.S. government granted immunity to all those Japanese scientists in exchange for their research.
Well, of course they would. I mean, that's very hard research to come by.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking humanity. So how does this tie into BC?
Take a look at this.
What's that?
This is a Fugo balloon. In the final days of the war, the Japanese launched these as a last-ditch strike against the United States. They would load this platform with a bomb.
Let me guess, sometimes that bomb contained biological agents like anthrax and glanders.
They were launching upwards of 500 a day into the jet stream, hoping they'd go across the Pacific, detonate over North America, and spread a plague.
Because those Japanese were real cutting edge.
Yeah, it was a total fucking failure. A few people died in Oregon, most of them just crashed in the Pacific or, floated into Never Land.
Thinking a release of these Fugos drifted across the Pacific Ocean and landed on our mountainside?
Yeah. 60 years later, there's a forest fire, they detonate, and the pathogens are finally released.
So it was a bioterror attack, only it was launched 60 years ago. Well, there could be hundreds of these things. Get Carlos on the line. Bob, you got that data for dispersing the sulfidizine?
Yes.
Grab it and get in here. Hey, how's it going out there?
The more important question is, how's everything going there?
We think we've got something. Bring up the topographic map. West thinks we may be dealing with some leftover Japanese bioweapons carried over by Fugo balloons.
What?
They're weaponized balloons the Japanese sent up in a Hail Mary attempt at the end of World War II.
It's a long story. Just go with it. I think he's right. These are the most recent outbreaks, and this is the current position of the fire. Outbreak from 1945 was here, 20 k's to the south. Where did the fire in 1945 start?
Almost exactly where the outbreak occurred.
Now, that fire spread south, but this was the only outbreak. So imagine a Fugo launch of 1945. They float across the Pacific Ocean, they get to BC, they get hit by some kind of storm, and they all come down roughly in this area.
So the current outbreak could be the northernmost Fugos.
Right. And the 20 kilometers of unburned forest in between could be hiding God knows how many unexploded bioweapons.
David will never find them in time.
I know, we don't have to. Bob! Bob! Here's the data. Hey, Bob, remind me again, the storm is cyclonic, right? The winds are blowing down from the north and then moving west? Right. Okay, we load up these airplanes with an accelerant, napalm if we have to. We burn the entire chunk of land.
Well, David, you have 200 square kilometers with a potential lethal pathogen. What about the city of Vancouver?
No, we time it. We do the burn right when the weather front moves over.
Yes, and the winds pick up any pathogens released and carry them out over the Pacific.
They'll be dispersed before they hit Vancouver. What's the population between the fire and the ocean?
It's fairly sparse. We could do an evacuation. We'd have to get on it right now.
Okay, so we're looking at a 200 million square meter burn area with an efficiency of 2,300 square meters per 625 liter drum of napalm.
Can it be done, Bob?
We need 1,811 sorties or thereabouts. But if we let the fire itself do the bulk of the work, then... Yes.
I think it's our only shot. Call Riddlemeyer, have him scramble the U.S. and Canadian Air Forces.
I'm on it.
David, I'll get started on the evacuation.
Okay. Bob. Good work.
You too.
Go home, get some sleep.
Bob, what are you doing still here?
Thinking.
About what?
The most famous blind botanist was George Eberhard Rumphius. He went blind in 1670, but he kept working on a 6-volume catalog of all the plants in Indonesia. Then, his wife and child were killed in an earthquake, and the ship carrying his manuscript back to the Netherlands was attacked and sunk by the French. So he had to start all over again.
Okay, that's awful.
His masterpiece wasn't published until 39 years after his death.
Bob, that's a horrible story.
Actually, it's quite reassuring. Things work out. We just have to be patient.
What?
David, I've been told the target area has been cleared.
So where are we at?
The bombers are taking off from Fairchild Air Force Base in Washington, CFB Comox and Elmendorf in Alaska.
And the storm?
Proceeding as our model suggested. We have a pretty tight 3-hour window, but it can happen.
Okay,
So we do it?
do it.
Right.
Dr. Sandstrom. Robbie McCain.
Robbie.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time.
Well, I'm glad you caught me. I gotta admit, I completely forgot.
I hear you're looking for someone. I think I can help.
Yeah. Why don't you sign in?
Since Leslie died, I've been kind of fixated on Alflander Dockheimer. As far as I'm concerned, they killed her.
Secret research projects, no control, no peer review, no wonder bad shit happened. Robbie, you said over the phone you wanted to talk about Greenway.
Greenway's just the tip of the iceberg. Secret lab in India. They're supposed to be researching environmentally friendly pesticides. They release methyl isocyanate into the atmosphere. 400 innocent people die. Norway, they claim they're working on clean nuclear fuels. They release radioactive isotopes into the fjord, poison an entire population of wild salmon. This is science out of control, Dr. Sandstrom.
Robbie, you said you knew who I was looking for. Who is it?
It's a man like yourself. He cares about the fate of mankind. He got concerned when he was working at DARPA.
Did he voice his concerns?
Told DARPA something had to be done. Dangerous science everywhere. And he was right. I mean, you want to build yourself a nuclear bomb, a deadly virus, it's all right there on the internet.
How did DARPA respond?
They didn't.
So he thought he'd just go out and do a little pilot project, right? Fabricate smallpox from a recipe freely found on the internet.
A harmless strain.
Because you didn't want to hurt anybody, did you, Rob?
I was making a point. I wanted to get the world's attention. Spark an international debate about the fact that science is totally out of control. It didn't work. Not a word in the press. There are thousands of people out there who could make a bug that'd decimate the human race. And they may not be as benevolent as me.
I don't disagree with you. But I also think that scientists need a free flow of information. Censorship isn't the answer.
You're an idealist, Dr. Sandstrom. In your world, science is benevolent. Companies are ethical. That's not the real world, not anymore.
I don't think science is benevolent. I think it's benign. It's for discovery, that's it, okay? The problem is in application, and I don't think corporations are ethical, but I do think people can be. Is there any more smallpox out there?
No.
Okay.
David, I want your help. I want to be arrested and tried. The real trial, see, will be the state of science.
Kind of like a Scopes monkey trial for the ages?
It'll put this whole issue on the front page.
I'm afraid not, Robbie. It's an FBI short list of all the scientists they think could have made the smallpox. Homeland Security nails you for this, you'll be declared an enemy of the state, and if that happens, there's not going to be a trial ever. You're going to go straight to Gitmo or some black camp in the Balkans for an indefinite stay. I'm going to give you a chance to step back from the brink, okay? I'll write an op-ed piece for the Times, outline your pilot project, and explain what you, this unknown person, wanted to save the world. I know it's spit in the wind, but I'll do it.
That's it, then.
No, I can pick up the phone and have you arrested if you like.
Do what you have to do, Dr. Sandstrom. I'm just the messenger.
guy gets gunned down in cold blood in front of my office, and I'm not even allowed to talk to the homicide detectives?
There are issues of national security.
The guy was executed. Who gave the order?
No one. Those agents made a split-second decision.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. We wanted him alive as much as anyone. Was he a lone gunman? Was he working with anyone else? We don't even know if he had more smallpox.
He told me he didn't.
And that's it. That's your proof. We did not want that man dead. We just lost an important asset.
Asset? Asset. That guy created smallpox. I don't think you realize how incredible that is, but that man was a fucking genius. How'd they even know he was here?
He was your contact, so we've had agents sitting on you from the very beginning. For your own protection, I might add.
No. They confronted him after he met with me.
Okay, you were already in the meeting with Robbie, and we were working on a short list of suspects that your people provided. Now, once that info was downloaded, the FBI software made the match. If the match was made before that, if we'd made it earlier, he would have been apprehended in your office.
You mean he would have been shot in my office?
Listen to me, David. There's a little matter here of you letting that man, who you obviously knew had something to do with this, you let him walk away scot-free. Now, that's aiding and abetting. Some people might even say treason.
You threatening me?
No. Not at all. I'm just saying, everything can be managed.
You know what it is? It's state-sponsored terrorism. Look, the guy synthesized smallpox, and that is a fucking amazing achievement.
Amazing and horrifying,
And
David.
horrifying, yeah, but the point is, he did it.
Okay, just think for a minute. What if he was right?
Riddlemeyer?
Yes.
Bullshit.
No, just think about it, David. I mean, who's to say Robbie McCabe wasn't working with someone?
You gotta be sleeping a part of a larger group.
I don't think so. I think he was a lone wolf.
All right, just step back from it for a moment. Now, if he were working alone, he'd have been working on this genome for years. And what you say, he only decided to take action after Leslie's death.
It's an impossible timeline, David.
I mean, really? Just who was Robbie McCabe? We know nothing about him.
All right. Point taken.
Smells good.
Okay,
I think that I need a drink.
Red?
Please.
So how'd everything turn out after the burn?
Smoke tested clean.
And the pathogens?
Scattered all over the Pacific.
Good work.
Good man.
West and I made a series of models based on other Fugo launches that may have landed in North America. That projection was sent to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They're going to coordinate that research. Okay, good.
Hello? Oh my god. When? Okay, we're... All right, I'll be right there. Guys, I'm so sorry. We're not calling you. Where is he?
They're still working on it.
What happened?
They were attacked by some bear they were studying.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Guardedly good news. We saved his arm. He's lost these 2 fingers. He's going to need extensive plastic surgery to reconstruct this region of his face. But your son is out of danger. Oh, his friend isn't so lucky. Shock and blood loss. There was nothing we could do. Oh, no. These are some of Craig's personal effects that came back on the medevac flight.
Thank you.
Wait, we want to see him. He's still in twilight from the anesthetic. Please. Oh, sweetheart. It's gonna be okay.
Stay calm, Craig. You gotta rest. Tom's fine. He's fine.
So when tomorrow?
Oh. She said she could see us at 2.
Okay.
You know, Bob, this may not pan out, but from everything I've read about Dr. Trimble's research, it'll be worth the trip.
Okay. I guess I should go home.
I'll take you. Okay. Get your coat.
David. You.
Hey. We're gonna fix you. Okay, good. Yeah, bye. Looks like Craig's gonna make it.
That's good news. How's Rachel?
Just hanging in there.
Dr. Turnbull will see you now.
Oh, great.
Come on, Bob.
We've been studying ways to repair optic nerve damage for several years now. What we're doing is we're injecting a solution containing self-assembling peptides into the damaged area. The idea is that they build a nanofiber trellis in the space between the torn accents. And along with the peptides, we also inject growth factors, which help encourage nerve growth, and the nerve rebuilds itself using the nanotrellis as support.
Optic nerve regeneration.
Am I a candidate?
Well, let's start by saying that we have never performed a human trial.
You are ready to proceed the human trials.
Well, let's see here. You do have severe glaucoma, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been on a regimen of miotic eye drops. You have 30% of your vision. And that situation seems sustainable. I mean, it's an imperfect universe, but we learn to cope.
I have no peripheral vision. In dim light conditions, I'm virtually blind.
But your situation is manageable. You stay on your meds, you won't go totally blind.
Yeah, okay, but let's just say that Bob had these nano trellises inserted tomorrow. What's the worst case scenario?
You're asking me to speculate.
Try it. It's fun.
Okay. Well, in our work with hamsters, we have had an 85% success rate. However, when the procedure fails, our test subjects are left totally blind.
So, how do we proceed?
Well, on your end, you're going to have to decide whether you're willing to risk total blindness.
At your end?
I have to consult with our backers to make sure that we're ready to move to human trial.
Well, I'd be more than happy to meet with them and discuss the situation.
I'll set it up.
Specimen could go, I don't know, 600 pounds.
All right, this guy here, his bare 4778's living room. We are gonna bait him in tonight. Hey, got that camera was for scientific purposes only. Oh yeah? Fuck off, turn that thing off. No. That's it. Keep it coming, baby. What's that?
Got a minute?
You?
I did some digging into riding the cane.
Molly.
Hey, Uncle Wes.
Hey, kid. Still not feeling well?
No. I couldn't find my dad, so I asked him to bring me here.
Oh, you did the right thing. Well, it's good to see you. You still feeling sick?
I've been barfing a lot lately.
Okay. You know what? We are gonna go back to my place, get a movie for you, and I will try and find your dad. And if I can't get him and you're still not feeling well, we'll go see a doctor. Let's go.
Thanks, Uncle Wes. I did some digging into Robbie McCain.
What you got?
Robbie McCain, born 1967, Pontiac, Michigan, graduated MIT 1987, 3.6 grade point average.
3.6?
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like the grades of a guy who single-handedly built smallpox, does it?
No.
There's more.
Like what?
He never really held a position of any consequence anywhere. Mostly worked as a lab tech, from all accounts, a good, solid technician.
What about when he was at DARPA?
He was a project analyst. Yeah, 1993 to 2000. He's been in the BYU zoology department ever since.
Zoology? He wouldn't have had any access to level 3 containment.
No cell culture hoods, no PCR machines, no gel electrophoresis rig, David. He couldn't have built smallpox there.
Just a regular, by-the-book scientist working in a zoology lab.
Yeah, family man, close to his wife.
You sound like the kind of guy who takes the world hostage.
No. So there had to be another facility, right? And help?
Ah, shit.
Take that.
Yeah, thanks, Mako.
No worries.
Carl, we have a situation.
Can it wait? Sort of busy.
Look, I'm sorry about what happened to Craig, all right? But sometimes the job can't wait for our personal problems.
All right. What is it?
Robbie McCain.
What about him?
He didn't work for DARPA, and he didn't work alone. I mean, there must be others he was working with, and who the fuck knows what they're gonna do with smallpox.
Let it go, David.
We're talking about smallpox here.
Okay. Robbie McCain did work for DARPA.
No, he didn't. He worked in a zoology lab.
That was his cover. None of his lab co-workers actually knew what he was working on.
What was he working on?
He was part of a team. They were trying to establish whether or not terrorists could build a smallpox virus using the internet.
The United States government was building smallpox?
Well, he was one of the technicians on the project. Apparently, after his wife's death, he jumped the other side of the fence.
With a couple of samples.
Yeah. 2. One for you and one for Grand Central Station.
How long have you known about this?
I just found out.
Well, why the fuck didn't anybody tell us?
Look, David, DARPA is so top secret that even I didn't know about it.
Let me guess, it was an issue of national security.
He was also going to take it public along with you. A Scopes monkey trial for the ages.
So you shot him?
No, they told him to stop. He chose to run.
Well, this is such bullshit!
You know, I have absolutely no interest in debating this with you any further. I've got more important things to look after.
Yeah?
I want to be arrested and tried. But the real trial, see, will be the state of science.
Kind of like a Scopes monkey trial for the ages. Monkey trial for the ages. Fuck, I heard my conversation. You're here somewhere, motherfucker. You're here somewhere.
Hey, Elliot, it's Wes. We're at the doctor's right now. It might be just the flu, I don't know. Get back to us when you can. Molly could really use you right now. What is it? Is she okay?
She's fine, Wes. Healthy little girl.
And what is it?
Her mom and dad here with you?
No, I haven't been able to get in touch with them. Look, my brother's gone through some really rough times, and Molly spent a lot of time with me growing up.
Wes, your niece is pregnant.
She's 12.
I know. And she's 11 weeks pregnant.
Molly's pregnant.
Oh, what about the virgin birth?
That's a story in the Bible.
I'm having God's baby.
It's though animals are learning an aggressive behavior. They're becoming better killers.
That's my son. All right, just in case you don't recognize him with half his face falling off. And that's what's left of his partner, Tom, okay?
He wasn't my friend, Dad. He was my lover. Now he's dead.
Dr. Sandstrom, I'd like to introduce you to Titus Meyer, Bridge from Offlander Dockheimer Industries.
Yeah.
Anyway, David has it all set up. That nanochild's procedure.
You're gonna go through with that?
Mako, I want my eyesight back. David doesn't see any other alternative.
David.
If you don't want to go through with this, you just say the word and we'll cancel.
But I have to.